First Unity. I am Barbara Berger. I am one of the chaplains here, and I'm going to be doing a little reading. It's a meditation, but I'm going to be reading the meditation. It's from one of my books. I just thought it was perfect for right now this morning. This is the time right before the sunrise. I'm on a lake and I hear all the birds and all the creatures waking up. So I just thought I'd be here with you. So settle in, enjoy. I'm going to get out of the picture. I got my morning face on, so you don't want to see me. You want to hear the meditation and see the lake. So relax, waking up to the sun, keeping my heart open. Feel the sun, feel the air, feel the earth, feel the sky. Let them all combine with your being, one with nature. Picture soft pink light coming to your heart from this sunrise. Let our hearts open wide. Immerse yourself with this energy. Picture that soft pink light coming out of your heart to touch all around you. Hear the birds. Hear the buzzing little bugs. Listen to the sounds of nature serenading us. We are all sharing this sacred space right now. May the color of the sunrise surround you today. Namaste.
Good morning, family. Welcome to another beautiful Sunday together here for our devotional time, our time to really celebrate consciousness and our conscious awareness. As I was preparing today and I'm listening to the birds sing and the sun is starting to rise and sitting here amongst the palm trees, I'm reminded of just really how blessed we are, that even in spite of what is occurring in the world, that our places of beauty are still around us. You know, we talked last week and the week before that, my friend Douglas Bonar talked about understanding the power of oneness and wholeness and interbeing. And I found in my life that when I recognize my connection with all of life, yes, even the trees and the grass and the dirt, Gaia, Mother Earth, Father Time is also a reference. The universe, the divine, as I recognize that, there's such a high level of awareness that the sense of just gratitude comes in. The sense of thankfulness comes in. And I was sitting today preparing for chatting with you and thinking and meditating on how much of an honor it is to journey with all of you through this life, seriously. As complex and challenging as the processes around First Unity and One Love and the financial support of it, sometimes the feeling of not quite sure that it's landing or the message is getting through. all the complexities around transition and transformation, the uncertainties. I am so grateful and honored to serve with you as we create what I believe is a new world. And when I say that, I mean it's a new way of living. You know, Deepak Chopra goes into great details about how the world we have currently operates the way it does because we've agreed to it in some way. And I am, for myself, making a new agreement, choosing unity, harmony, union, wholeness, oneness, interbeing over everything else. The political atmosphere in this country, the separation between the reds and the blues and the Trumps and the not Trumps and all of the stuff that's going on. I've gotten caught up in it myself. But at the end of the day, what I want more than anything else is not to just elect another president or another senator or another congressperson to hope that they can save this world. I don't want this to sound doomsday, because it's not. It's exciting and it's celebrating to me. I don't believe we're here to save the world. I believe we have been assigned in this moment. Again, your parents may have decided to have you, but God chose to send you. Before you were born into the skin suit, you were an idea in the heart mind of God, and your entire existence has been encoded, loaded and coded with the divine. And we have access to that divine mind to create a new world. And I know some people think that's crazy. And if you do, it's probably because this message may not be for you. Either that or it's fighting against concepts that have limited us in our thinking. But I believe there's a group of people who are awakening out of the emptiness of the limitation and moving toward the fullness of infinite potential. So, you know, we have been talking about a lot of things over the last several months, coming at the end of spring and then coming into summer and now into the fall season. And when I get around this time of year, I love the holidays, as I know I've said before. I love the holidays. And we're in kind of the Thanksgiving season. And no matter what we think about how that began and what all occurred for Thanksgiving to be what it is, there's still this sense that this is a time of year that we have chosen to think about the more important things: gratitude, thanksgiving, celebration, love, joy, peace, all of those things. So I wanted to start a new series over this next few weeks titled Grateful Anyway, Finding Thanks in Every Season. And really the arc of the trilogy that we've been in is that we've shared the last several weeks or the last couple of weeks about the emerging story, you know, awakening to oneness, wholeness, and interbeing. We moved through our spirit expressing season. We looked at the biology of belief. We talked about quantum physics and how it intersects with spirituality. And the title of that series was Aligned and Activated, because we said it's not just about manifestation, it's about integration and activation. We said that we're going to embody this awareness. We learned to live in frequency, and we even committed to resonating as love, joy, and peace. That was the messaging all through the summer leading up to now. Now, gratitude, for me, I believe, becomes the embodiment. It becomes really the embodied song. As a singer and a musician, I'm going to go toward music a lot. But to me, gratitude becomes the embodied song of that awakening. In other words, it is how the consciousness of that kind of living sort of settles into a rhythm. To me, it's how love remembers itself in motion. And so as we move into week one of this series, the subtitle or the title for this week would be The Simple Thanks. And Thanksgiving and gratitude is not an emotion, it's a frequency. It's the frequency of blessing. So this week it's simple thanks and the frequency of blessing. Loved ones, I really believe that the sacred scriptures say, I've read this and I'll tell you what I believe about it. The scriptures say in the Christian Bible, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God concerning you. Some may think that that's a demand or a command, but notice the will of God concerning you is that you be able to give thanks in everything. Now that's Thessalonians, First Thessalonians, the letter to Thessalonica from St. Paul, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 18. Very popular scripture in the church. Now, my translation of that is in everything, in the light and the shadow, in the joy and the pain, tune your heart back to gratitude, because this is the vibration of divine alignment. That's the way I see this, that it's a call back to divine alignment through thanksgiving and through gratitude. It says, in everything, give thanks. Not for everything, but in everything. That tiny word really changes the whole game. St. Paul wasn't saying, I don't believe, be thankful when life is easy. He was saying, choose the frequency of gratitude no matter what life gives you or what you experience in this life. Because gratitude to me, I've come to realize, I used to think of it differently, that gratitude is not approval of circumstances. It's the awareness of presence in the midst of circumstances. In everything means in the sunshine, in the rain, the laughter, the pain, the awakened soul says, thank you. Not because life is perfect by whatever measurement we would have, but because divine love is always present. Somebody say this, affirm this. I am grateful because I know divine love is always present. I am grateful because I know that divine love is always present. Even the birds say amen. And I was thinking about this. I think Amy Crisas, I think you'll appreciate this. Gratitude doesn't need a PhD. It doesn't need incense, a drum circle, or a yoga mat. Those don't hurt. Those are fantastic. But gratitude begins with the obvious, with the simple act of giving thanks. You know, the ones like, I'm grateful for coffee. I'm grateful my car started. I'm grateful for air conditioning. Even though right now it's been pretty nice in terms of temperature, it's been absolutely beautiful, actually. You know, but the simple things. I'm grateful the person ahead of me didn't order a triple half-calf oat milk pumpkin spice frappuccino, shaken bacon, waken side of a fresh hand-whipped cream when all I wanted was a cup of coffee, and I've got to wait behind them for a half hour for them to get a special drink. Nothing against that, but those simple things about being grateful. To me, gratitude starts with breath, with love, and bread on the table. Right now, that is seriously an overhanging cloud in our society because of the way things are being done. Bread on the table. Somebody somewhere today is concerned about where their next meal is coming from. And yesterday, that concern was still in place in the wealthiest nation in the world, where we throw huge parties and build massive ballrooms. And we spend tax dollars on bombs to commit genocide. Bread on the table is a concern. There's a child hungry right now. So when I think about that, it's not complicated. It's paying attention. That's all it is. It starts with the breath, being present. It starts with love and feeling love and being love, and bread on the table. It's not a complicated or complex thing. It's attention. So in the emerging story, we woke up to oneness, to wholeness, to the interbeing. And gratitude is how we keep our eyes and our hearts open. It's frequency training 101, if you will. It's tuning our hearts back to the love station. Rumi said, wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every last corner of your life. Wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every last corner of your life. When you put it on, everything you meet tries to match your frequency. When you put that cloak of gratitude on, everything in your life tries to match that frequency. Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you ever say is thank you, that would be enough. Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of the great poets, said, cultivate the habit of being grateful for everything that comes to you and give thanks continuously. The indigenous peoples around the world and in this country have always known this. In their Thanksgiving address, it begins not with please, but with thank you as they address the Great Spirit. Their prayers began with thank you, not please. Thank you to the waters. Thank you to the earth. Here it is. Thank you to the sun that's rising. The ancestors. Thank you to the ancestors, the ones who preceded us. Gratitude is the first word before all else. And this is what will codify and galvanize and concretize in some ways a gratitude attitude. As we practice this as our behavior, can we open our day with thank you? Can we end our day with thank you? Even if you can't follow up the words thank you with other words, bring your body, your cells back to thank you. And by the way, science is just saying, see, I told you so when it comes to this. Okay, because mystics have been talking about thanksgiving and gratitude being a high level frequency, and now science is just God saying, see, I told you so. So when we look at the science around this, science is reporting on what Spirit has always been saying and doing. There's a Harvard research that shows writing 3 gratitudes a day literally improves your sleep, your mood, and your immune system. Neuroscience shows us that gratitude lights up the prefrontal cortex and releases dopamine and serotonin into the system. So essentially, it's free medicine with a side effect of love, joy, peace, and likability. The HeartMath Institute found that gratitude synchronizes the heart and the brain. And then your whole body begins to hum like a tuning fork. And you begin to send out a signal and receive a signal from the universe. I mean, Grandma was doing neurobiology before it was even cool when she said, baby, count your blessings. That was neurobiology before it was even documented. Count your blessings. The old song of the church, those who grew up in the Christian church especially, count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. Some of you may remember that if you grew up Methodist, Baptist, even in the Pentecostal churches. You may remember that song. It was in the Redback hymnal, I know, for the Church of God, so I guess Pentecostals sang it as well. But counting those blessings is actually changing your biology toward the good, higher level of immune system, better sleep, a better mood in general. It's bringing the mind and the body into coherence and back into the signal of divine nature. It is natural to be grateful. It is unnatural to complain. Although it seems to come natural, it's not natural, it's become normal. And there's a difference. You know, I once knew a woman, speaking of gratitude and giving thanks in everything, I once knew a woman who was deep into a really hard divorce. And I encouraged her to create a gratitude journal. This is something that I had done when I had gone through divorce. And at first, that journal began with, I'm thankful for coffee, for sunlight, my dog doesn't judge me. Those were the things that she listed. And I remember the first time that she mentioned it to me, she thought it was ridiculous. And I said, no, keep writing. Keep journaling about the things you're grateful for. In time, that list grew from coffee, sunlight, my dog doesn't judge me, I was able to take a shower with clean water today. The things that she thought were minute and just kind of didn't account for much. In time, that list grew to, I'm grateful for strength, for resilience, for clarity, for direction, for community. Gratitude did not erase her pain, but it kept her from drowning in it. It kept her sane, probably, at least reasonably sane through the process. And sometimes Gratitude is survival humor. I mean, when you're a parent, when you're living this life, when you're a parent and you have children, and I'm sure I did this for my parents, that gratitude survival humor can just be, God, thank you that my teenager's eye roll didn't crack the ozone layer or cause the moon to fall out of the sky. Gratitude meets us where we are, and it helps us to return to the frequency of divinity, brings us back into alignment. That's what it means when it says, this is the will of God concerning us. It's to return to alignment with the divine. I'm going to ask you to take a moment right where you're at. And let's just do this little practice and consider this practice maybe as something that you would adopt for your daily life. Close your eyes just a moment if you feel comfortable doing so. And as you do, bring one face, a person's face, your fur baby's face, one gift, one moment to mind. A person, a gift. And breathe in the word thank and breathe out the word you. So breathe in thank and breathe out you. And again, breathe in thank and breathe out you. Friends, as you're doing this now, your biology is changing. Allow that change. Feel that change now. That's coherence. That's alignment. That's engaging the miracle wheel. That's causing the miracle wheel to turn. So breathe in thank and breathe out you. Thank you. And as you're holding that person or that gift, that image on the screen of your imagination, and you're saying thank you, you're sending out that signal into the universe. And yes, it touches that individual. And it enhances the quantum field receptivity of your life. And it changes your neurobiology, which directly affects your entire nervous system, which directly affects all of the systems of your body. Sitting in this gratitude attitude changes the way you see, the way you hear, the way you speak, the way you feel, the way you show up. Baby, count your blessings. Name them one by one. Breathe in thank. Breathe out you. Now open your eyes back up, if you will, and consider this challenge. Write down 3 things you're grateful for every morning. Write them down. Be intentional. You don't have to take long. This doesn't have to be a 30-minute meditation, although it can be. But write down 3 things you're grateful for every morning. Let's do it for the entire month of November, but I challenge you to do it every day for this coming week. And here's another challenge. Call someone and tell them you appreciate them. Texting is fine, and that's good, but give somebody a call. Take the time, the voice of vibration, and call someone and tell them you appreciate them. And lastly, pause before you eat and actually taste your thanks. Taste your gratitude. So write down 3 things this week, every day that you're grateful for. Call someone and tell them you appreciate them. And pause before you eat and actually taste your Thanksgiving. Every thank you is a tuning fork that makes the universe just a little brighter. And gratitude isn't the reward for our awakening. It's the rhythm that keeps awakening alive and vibrating in us. It is, I believe, strategic of the universe that we have come into this, that we're resting into this gratitude season after coming through living in frequency, spirit expressing, aligned and activated, and then the emerging story. The combination of the series throughout the summer leading into the fall as we watch everything in life turn and change. I believe it's strategic of the universe that we're in this series. Grateful anyway, being thankful in every season. So in everything, give thanks, for this is the will of the divine concerning you. And my friends, I'm grateful for you. Now, I know that some of you know about this because you're tuned into our Facebook page and to our YouTube channel, and you're connected to our newsletter and our weekly connection. By the way, if you're not, please consider sending an email to Kerry, Kerri, at firstunity.org, and sign up for that weekly connection and the newsletter. Check out our website and our calendar, because this coming Friday is it's gratitude, a night of generosity, thanksgiving and generosity. It's the night of gratitude, and Reverend Iman and this music team, along with myself, we have been working to bring a powerful spoken word and musical concert that I believe is going to be the best we have ever done, the best that has been done in 100 years of existence for First Unity Spiritual Campus. So I'm inviting you to come out, bring somebody with you. It's going to be in South St. Pete in the beautiful sanctuary of Lakewood United Methodist Church. We're going to be there sharing together, loving on each other, and I'm telling you, it's going to be an uplifting evening. Please don't miss this. This is the end of the year push, by the way, for both One Love and First Unity, to end the year in the black, profitable going into 2026. So from a financial standpoint, I'm going to be coming to you over the next several weeks and inviting you to make First Unity a part of your Christmas giving, a part of your Thanksgiving, end of the year tax write-off giving. If you have a business that is profiting and needs to have that tax write-off and you want to make us your charity, whether it's One Love or First Unity, please consider doing that, an end of the year gift where we can move from the red and into the black and actually do what we themed this year, which was to thrive in 2025. And if you're thriving, and even if you're not, if you're surviving and you're giving a gift out of sacrifice, where you're saying, I'm trusting that this is a vibrational frequency I want to support, and that I'm giving and I know I'm attracting all kinds of abundance back into my life, give either from the abundance you have or from the space that needs to be filled. Get into that law of circulation. You cannot outgive the divine. You just can't. It's always giving. Mother Earth is always giving. God, always giving. So choose to be really committed enough to be a sustaining partner, but certainly if you'll consider an end of the year gift, that would be wonderful. All right, my friends, I love you. I'm going to get up out of here now. Go and make it a great week just because you can. Peace. Loved ones, thank you so much for joining us today for our devotional service. The ways to give are on the screen right now. You can, of course, text to give. You can utilize our app. You can also go to firstunity.org/give. And on that page, you can actually decide to become an auto giver. That's really what it takes to become a sustaining partner to this ministry. If you believe in what we're doing here, I'm asking you to consider supporting the light that currently is and seeding that light for the future. We continue with our ways to give by offering our P.O. Box, our Cash App, and our QR code for you to scan on the screen. So I want to say a special thank you to everyone who has chosen this community to be a place where you want to give your financial seed. Know that when you're planting that seed, it is going into fertile soil, and you activate the law of circulation in your life. God bless you.
Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Now there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Now there is peace on earth. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. And our prayer of protection together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. I love you, family. Make it a great Sunday.